Okay, so we're here with the Festool CSC 650 EBI table saw, and this is going to be the first time that I power it up. So let's go ahead and put the batteries in. So these are both Bluetooth batteries that we're going to put inside of here. Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and power on the saw. So we're going to hit this button here to power it on. Okay. And we can see the electronics there. Let me see if I can get you in closer with the camera so that you can see. So taking a look at the saw here, we see that we have the language here. And I can, the first language here is German. And we're going to cycle down to English. And then we're going to click that. And I can go inches or millimeters. I think I'm going to go ahead and try millimeters for now, so I can do the 1/10 of a millimeter. I may change it back, but for right now we're going to select millimeters. Okay, and it says start reference drive, press and hold. So I'm going to press and hold this button. And I'm seeing movement here on the top. The saw blade is coming up here. Okay. So there's a check mark there. So let me try to back up here a bit so you can see a little bit more of this. Alright, so now that we have this, it says successful. Let's click it. And now it says calibrate cutting height and press hold. So press and hold. I'm going to press and hold. The blade is actually retracting on the top there. Okay, it says saw blade retracted. Now it says position workpiece. So let me get a piece of wood and put it on the top here. Just set this piece up here. Okay, so we're going to put that over the blade. And then it says, so we're going to click the arrow. Start the saw blade. Okay, so we can slide this in here like this. Alright, so it's on there. So we're going to start the saw. Let's press the blade dial. I think I heard it there. Yep. So you can take a look here. Whatever you can see here, there's a little bit of a line there. So the saw is really quiet. All right, so this is the main screen. So let's say I want to set the height, and we're going to go up to 30 millimeters. All right, so we're there at 30 millimeters on the top of the saw there. Let me see if I can get a different angle here. So I'm at 30 millimeters on my height. Let me go to, let's see how high it goes. You're gonna click it. So the full height is 50 millimeters, and that's what it looks like there. And then let's change the angle. So that's a 5 degree. Let's go all the way to 45. And so as I'm at a 45 degree angle, as you see, it actually automatically tells me that my height is going to be 36.1. So the height is actually decreased due to the angle. Now you have 10 seconds to actually change the settings. So once I click it, I have 10 seconds. If I don't interact with this dial in 10 seconds, it'll go back, it'll kind of lock me out. So if I want to go up in height, I can't, but I can go lower from this angle. Let's see if it goes further than 45. Okay, it goes all the way up to 47.2, which is going to give me a height of 34.8 millimeters. Now if I go back to this and I go to 0, all right, so at 0, I can select here and go up, and I'm at my 50 mil height again on the blade. All right, so let me put this piece of wood here and let me just go down to cut just above this. Let's adjust it. Okay, so here I can see my different settings that I'm toggling through. So the first one is 30 millimeter height with 0 on the bevel. The next one down is going to be 48 millimeters high with 0 on the bevel. The next one down is a 33 millimeter height with a 45 degree angle. And then finally we have a 34 degree height with a -10 bevel. And then the park is the final one down here. So if I hit this, it's down at the P and I hold it, it should go into the park position. So now it's in the park position. This would be the position that you would use to actually change the blade or anything like that. All right, let's go back out of here. So to get in the menu, press the dial twice. All right, so I can change the speed here. So you got level 6. Okay, so like most Festool tools, so level 1 is 4,500 revolutions per minute. 2 is 5,000, 3 is 5,500, 4 is 6,000, 5 is 6,500, and 6 is 6,800. So those are the different speed settings. You can change the blade by clicking here, and it'll tell you to hold it to get back to that position. To get back out of that menu, you hit X. Calibrate height. Let's calibrate angle. I don't know if we did that. Let's try that. Okay, so it says move the saw blade, press and hold. So we're going to hold this. Okay, max height is actually achieved, and then it says position a 90-degree tri-square. All right, so I'm going to use this for now. This may not be perfectly 90 to be honest, but we're just going to go through the process to see how this works. So I've got this square, and I'm going to put it, let's take this off now, or let's pull the fence up and the table up and slide this out. Our square and put it on top, and to the tooth it looks like it is square. Now obviously because the teeth kind of stick out from the blade, there is a gap that I see, but let me come back around on this side and take a look. Yeah, it appears to be pretty square, so we're going to go with that. And it says position tri-square. Let's put that up there like that, and then click that. a line saw blade with dial. Okay, so this is how you're going to bring it into square. So based upon this, I could tilt it to the left or to the right according to whatever I think is square. So let's get it all the way out of square. So if you see how it's pushing the actual square over, and then I can push it back. Okay, that looks like I've closed in the gap there. Okay, so we'll go with that. We'll call that square, and then we'll click it. And so now it's saying that is 90 degrees. So we're going to click this again. It says favorite outside setting range. We're good there. So this is allegedly a 90 degree, and then let's go ahead and try to make a cut with this. So let me move the camera around. And we'll take our miter gauge out and put this to work. Tighten, and then we'll flip this to be able to slide the table back. We want to loosen this here to slide the rail over out of the way. So you've got a good pass. And I'm going to get my piece of stock, or a piece of wood that I have here. Actually, this is a small piece, so that'll be kind of good to see what it does. So first and foremost, I'm going to set my height on this. So hit my height. I'm going to turn it down. And then I'll move this over like this. And I'm not even going to futz with it. This is a small piece. I like the fact that you can actually clamp your workpiece into this sliding table. I think that's going to be super safe. There, you see that's in there. And then let's go ahead and give it a shot. So I'm going to turn it on. All right, so let's take this piece off and put it together here. And it looks good. It's a nice cut. Let's cut the other side off and see if how square it will be. Got that buckled in there. Okay. I'm really liking that. I mean, it's just super smooth. It totally does not feel sketchy at all. So on this cut side here, it marries up really well. And then this is the other cut side. Okay. Let's try a little bit of a rip cut here. So let's lock our fence in. Let's take this out. And I've got this piece of wood here. if you can see it. And let's give it a shot. Let's see, we got the height there, that looks good. And we're just gonna cut a small piece. Okay, looks good. Oh, you know what? Let's go ahead and try it with the dust vac. Forgot about that. So we got my Festool vac here. I'm gonna plug it into the back. And then let me plug, I think I may have waited too long. Here we go. Pushing. Go. All right, so let's do this cut with the vac and see how it does. The cut seems to be just effortless for the most part from what I can see. Let's move the fence over again and cut a little bit more. Let's try one of the presets. This is a 45. Let's do a 45. Let's see. I want to go here. I want to go up to 45. And then let's go up a bit on the height. Nice little 45-degree cut. So far I'm pretty happy with what I'm seeing here. I think it is a little bit odd to me though. As I cut that 45, I'll have to take a look at my other saw. It seems more like it should go maybe 45 in that direction, but I guess not. So now if you can look here on the saw, now I have the dust vac on here and you can see there's still some dust all over the saw. Remains to be seen how much actually comes out. So this has just been kind of like a first trial with the saw itself, and I have to say, so far I'm happy with what I'm seeing. Now, one thing I did notice, now I don't know if it was the piece of wood, but basically it seems like things are getting caught here on this edge. I'm gonna have to further investigate that to see if maybe there's like a bend in the board I was cutting, or if it's dropping off, or what the deal is as far as that. Now, you can put this down, the foot of this thing, so it's not an issue. And as I was saying in my other video, you can actually turn the saw facing perpendicular to the stand. But so far I have to say this is, I'm pretty impressed. It's cutting very smoothly. Now I'm only cutting a piece of cheap CDX plywood here. Let me see if I can find a piece of 2x4 and cut that. Alright, so here I've got some 2x lumber. Let's see how well it cuts that, or how smoothly, and we'll cut it, we'll do a rip cut on this. So let's go up to the max height, or let's see how high, if it'll actually cut all the way through. Remember, I have it set in millimeters, and you can switch it over to empirical if you'd like. Alright, so that seems like that'll get me through. Alright, now we're going to bring the fence over. And I think I'll cut, you know, just maybe a couple, just a small bit off of there, just to see how that works. Alright. So you can see the cut there, and as you can see, this is a firmer piece of wood. It had no problem going onto the off ramp there, so it was probably the other, what do you call it, the other piece of plywood that was bowing down. So let's cut it, let's move it over just a hair, cut it over, cut off this other side, get it squared up. So far, I have to say I'm impressed. It seems to be doing what you would want it to do. Let's put this in here like this. Pop this out. Pull the table back. We'll do a cross cut with this. And you know what? Let's get the clamp. You know, I think I'm gonna make a lot of plenty of use of this clamp feature, because I think this is a nice safety feature for cutting, for cross cutting, built in. Break is pretty quick. Just pop it around across the other end. All right, so that's all I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna keep giving this some more, you know, I'm gonna keep playing around with this saw, but so far I like it. I like the sliding saw sled. I think it really seems to work pretty well. I like the fact that you have the built-in clamping feature there. That's great for safety. I do see dust around the front of the saw, so the dust collection, though present, is not, you know, definitely not 100%. When I was cutting this material here, which is just some CDX plywood, it was going through, well, right now it's going across, but it was getting caught here. Turn it over maybe. Right now it's not, but anyways, yeah, so my initial cuts and impressions, I am impressed with the saw.